All right, what's up? In this video, this series of videos, we're going to be talking about Dave Ramsey and kind of debunking some of his what he teaches, his philosophy and stuff. And this isn't a series or videos to kind of bash Dave and throw him under the bus. Just a little bit of history about like me and Dave and stuff. I learned about him, went through his material way back in 2004 when I was a senior in high school. So I've been through his books. I've been through all of his Financial Peace University DVDs. I even bought the DVD box set for my own library a couple of years ago, and so I like Dave. I like what he's doing. He's doing something good. I'm not here to again bash him or throw him under the bus. It's just that the I just want to address some of the things that he teaches, and I haven't been through all of his material, but like I said, I've been through his books and I've gone through his DVDs back in the day, and it was good at the time. Like for somebody that doesn't know anything about money, it's a good foundation, a good starting point if you don't have any financial literacy. But the more you learn about how money actually works, when you compare that to what Dave is teaching and his kind of philosophy, and it's not the best way to get ahead. So kind of my beef that I have with Dave and what he teaches is he doesn't actually help people get to where like they think they're going, in my opinion. And so like what they're buying into Dave's programs for, like he just, it seems like his demographic is for mostly like, I feel like married Christians that are middle aged that maybe have are just getting started, or they're just like recently empty nesters and stuff like that, that are employed and don't have a business and stuff. So I just want to address a couple of the things his philosophy and stuff, and kind of debunk a lot of those things and give you some better ideas for how to get ahead a lot faster. Because some of his, I don't like how, what he's teaching, and then how he kind of weaves it into the Bible and justifies it that way of, saying things like the borrower is slave to the lender and things like that. We'll address that in these videos. And just, once you learn how money really works, which it's just counterintuitive, and it just goes against a lot of what Dave says, and just not to say that his stuff doesn't work. It works in theory, but there's a lot of, you can poke a lot of holes in his philosophy and stuff. And it's just like, if you follow what he's teaching, if you do make it to quote retirement, you're going to be really old. And, I just want you to let you know, you can achieve financial peace or whatever a lot quicker by doing things a little bit differently. So in this video, I want to talk about starting a business, and that's kind of what we're going to talk about in this video. So anyway, just some things about Dave. I thought this was funny, and this is kind of why I'm doing this series. I don't know why this has just popped into my news feed on Facebook recently, but I think it's funny that whoever's doing Dave's social media on Facebook and stuff, there's a lot of very successful entrepreneurs that chime in on some of his posts and agree with a lot of the things I'm going to be teaching you, just because they know how money works too. And Dave does too. That's why it's kind of frustrating to see him say certain things about money and credit cards, because they're just you need to learn how they work. They're not bad or evil things, or maybe they are, whatever. But like the fact is, the more you know how the game works, if you just learn what the rules are and play by those rules, you're going to be a lot more successful, a lot faster than just adopting Dave's philosophy and just thinking like, oh, I'm not ever going to use credit cards, I'll just use debit cards, and like, who cares about credit scores? Like, they're really important, So we'll get to that later this week. But in today's video, I just want to talk about business. So if you look at Dave's audience, and this was, I haven't gone through his stuff recently, but just look at his audience, the people that he attracts on his show, and in the churches where he pushes his products and stuff like that. And yeah, just the people that he's, you know, his target demographic seems to be, they're all employees mostly for the most part. I don't, if you watch his DVDs and stuff, it seems like most of the people in the audience, and you know, just most of the people in the world, I guess, are employees or whatever. But Dave is not. Dave is a business owner, you know, so he's a business owner. He has a business, and he's teaching people about money that are employed. And the thing is, and I'm not some super, you know, I may not be able to communicate things in the most best way or whatever, but like the thing is, employees are taxed at the highest possible bracket or whatever. And when you're working for yourself, when you have a business, when you're self-employed, even if it's just a little side hustle, you get tremendous tax breaks. So that's the first thing. That's the thing I want to address in this video. And so I would highly encourage every person to start a business. And by that, you don't have to be intimidated. It's not like you go open a brick and mortar and understand how to hire and employees and things like that, and have all these people working under you and understand outsourcing and delegating. I'm a solopreneur. I'm a one-man show. I'm not good at that. I'm not great with responsibility and stuff. That's why I do what I do and teach, which is affiliate marketing. But you need to set up a business. And it's not as hard as you might think, and you can still stay employed, but just have a little side hustle, have some little thing on the side where you're making money, whether it's online, offline. You know, you can open up a lemonade stand on the weekends. I don't care, but just like have some little side hustle, because that's going to do tremendous things for you. You can get business credit. You can your personal assets become a little bit more protected and insulated. And this is, you know, this isn't like a master class or crash course or whatever in this video, but I want to encourage you to set up a business. And I wouldn't go through the legal Zooms and stuff. The simplest way to set up a business is just find someone in your town or community that you look up to and trust that has a business. Everybody knows a business owner. If you go to church, where you probably know people that in your community that have businesses, and you probably know who the successful business owners are. Just ask them who's their accountant, who's their lawyer, or whatever, and you can set up a business through them. I would much rather you do that and recommend that you go that route rather than going to the legal Zoom side. Because I don't know what I'm doing there. If you know what you're doing, I guess you're good. But if you've never set up a business, you don't know what you're doing. So go through someone you trust. I went through my accountant. It was a couple $100, which is, I think you can technically set up like your LLC and get your EIN and stuff for free, or a lot less than what I paid, but he did it all for me. So, and he did it right. And I've been in his office several times, and he's like, yeah, man. He's talked about certain people, clients that he now has that came to him that tried going through like the legal Zooms, and he had to kind of like unfuck their entities or whatever, just because they didn't know what they're doing. They just went with the cheapest plan, and they didn't know what they're getting. So again, I would go through a human, talk to someone, and just get a referral from a business owner, successful business owner in your area. So that's kind of all I want to communicate in this video, is just like set up a business, you know. And maybe Dave says something like that in some of his training. I haven't been through, again, every single one of his courses and programs ever, but just the books and Financial Peace University, which I have been through. That's just, I know he's preaching mostly to employed people, and I would highly recommend you do that as a step one. It's, it cost me a couple $100, but again, what that enables you to do is it separates your personal assets from your business assets. It allows you to, and just as a starting point, if you're one woman show, set up an LLC, and you're going to file as an S corp. Your accountant's probably going to do that for you, but just you can go into their office and kind of semi know what you're talking about. So LLC set up as an S corp, that's what most people are going to need. And again, you don't have to be so overwhelmed. You can figure out what you're going to do for business later on or whatever. There's so many different ways to make money online and offline. You can literally just like flip stuff on Craigslist and eBay or whatever. If you live in a bigger city or whatever, just have a little side hustle. It's going to help you reduce your taxes, and you can, if you can get business credit cards. And the cool thing about business credit cards is the majority of them don't report to your personal credit. And so, and additionally, you're going to get approved for higher credit limits right out of the gate. So with a personal credit card, you might be lucky, even if you have good credit, you might be lucky to get approved for like a $3,000 credit limit on a Discover card or something starting out. With a business credit card, I've never been approved for less than $10,000 for a business credit card. So I mean, just imagine what that can do for your life and business if you have that. Whatever, just $10,000 at your disposal, disposal. And the first week I was in business, for instance, I applied for 2 Amexes, each that approved me for $25K, and then another card for $15K, and one through my bank for $10. So the first week I was like officially in business, I had $75,000 that I could use for whatever. If I wanted to just like pay myself from one PayPal account to another and just liquidate those credit cards, I could have that cash in my bank account, and you can use that for whatever. So like those are just a couple of perks for starting a business. And again, the main big benefit, in addition to all that I just mentioned, is it's going to help you reduce your taxes. So as an employee, and you get to keep more of your money up front, and you pay the government later. Whereas as a employed person, unless you've like selected to pay your tax later or whatever on your paychecks, most of the time your taxes are taken out on the front end. So you don't even get to see what the full amount you would have earned. You may be making $2,000 a month, but you're only getting like, I don't know, $1,400 or something, because all the taxes are taken up front. And when you own a business, you get the money up front and you pay the government later. So those are just a couple of things I want to mention in this video, just addressing like the business, and highly recommend setting that up, because that just seems to be the demographic that Dave attracts and who he's preaching to. And I think that's just kind of interesting, considering that he has a business and he's preaching and teaching people to be financially free that are employees, which is the slowest, hardest way to become financially independent. So, and if you have, just tie this into what I do and teach. If you don't have, if you set up your business, and that shouldn't take more than about a week or so to get all your documents and EIN and stuff if you go through like an accountant. Once you do that, you can go apply for business credit cards. I would recommend going to like Amex and just look for credit cards and business credit cards. Discover has a cool one that has no interest for 12 months. Thing about like Discover and Capital One, they actually are some of the rare business cards that do report to your personal credit, but the Amexes don't, and a lot of other ones don't. Probably the ones from your bank, I don't think will, even though they're probably going to be Visa or MasterCard. So I would just go apply for those, and assuming you have like somewhat decent credit, and it doesn't have to be stellar, but just like somewhat decent credit. And if you want to know, if you're looking for something to make money, you can check out what we do. Go to SEOaffiliatedomination.com/apply, and we've got a couple different plans. This is what I've been doing, what I've been teaching others to do for the last 4 or 5 years. I've been doing it longer than that, but we've had this courses and programs for about that time, and so it's been definitely working for that length of time. And these are a lot of our testimonials and success stories. So it's not just me, it's not just my friends and people I've shared this with, but it's all these people are real folks that are not just our customers and students and stuff, but these are people that have gotten results. So it's not just me. Obviously it should work for me since I kind of developed and put this together, but and again, there's millions of different ways to make money online and offline. And just by being a part of this program, we've got a weekly coaching call component as part of this. you're going to get tons more ideas. So even if you don't want to do what it is I do and teach, there's so many other business models and ideas and methods for making money that we share in our calls each week and in our Facebook group. So that's just a starting point. And if you set up your business and you get like just say one card that gets you get like a $10,000, $20,000 credit limit, and you come in at like the payment plan, $300 times 12 months, that's $3,600. You still got thousands and thousands of dollars left that you could use for a budget to implement what you're going to learn in this program. So that'll buy you a lot of time, a year or two or whatever, to make what I'm doing and teaching work for you. If you want to do that. But even if not, you don't want to, you're going to make a lot of connections and relationships being a part of this program, and you're going to get way more than your money's worth. So that's just something I just want to connect that to this advice and suggestion of starting a business. I don't want to say just start a business and like good luck, like I hope you make some money. I want to connect that to something that can make you money. And the cool thing about what we do and teach is that I teach people how to build passive income streams, which is basically a shortcut for everything that Dave is trying to teach you, but he's teaching you the really long, slow, hard path of just like saving in your 401k or retirement plan. And it's like, good luck trying to do that and stick to that plan of saving for 20, 30, 40 years. Yes, in theory, the math is supposed to work out if you make it to age 72 or whatever. But if you're an American, you're eating the standard American diet, you're probably going to die before you get there. If you do make it, you're going to be old and you're going to probably be in really poor health because of just the diet of most Americans. We eat horrible food and stuff, and just our food is pumped full of like hormones and sugar and stuff, and most people eat that. Anyway, if you want a better way, then I would highly recommend with starting a business, and I'll share some other tips and future videos of this series. But hopefully that gives you a starting point. If you do nothing else after watching this video or this year, whenever you catch this, set up a business. You're going to save a whole lot in taxes, and it has tremendous other benefits. You're kind of insulated with your personal credit for most credit cards. So even if you're not good at managing money yet, it's no big deal with the Amex and stuff. You can be $100,000 in credit card debt and business debt, and it's not going to report to your personal credit. So if you already have good personal credit, like it's not going to affect you getting approved and getting good rates on loans, for getting approved for doing credit checks on apartments and houses and things like that. So business has a lot of advantages, and again, you don't have to get overwhelmed and be intimidated and feel like, oh, I've got to start like a brick and mortar and understand like whatever accounting and blah blah blah. Just set up a business, get you a good accountant, and they can handle all that. So hopefully that you get some value out of this video, and I would highly recommend implementing that as soon as possible. And we'll see you in the next one.